now.
You, bud.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were... Hey, everybody. Welcome to this.
Yeah, dude, your
Oh, shit. Yeah.
your mic is peaking.
Nah, I didn't hear anything. I was just going along with it. Yeah.
Well, everyone's deaf now.
Yes. It's funny because I'm actually wearing a death metal shirt. So
Sweet.
you're welcome. So how's it going, everybody? Welcome to This Is Difficult. I am one of your co-hosts, Lord Yeshua. My name is Josh. Is it not working? I turned the game
It's
down.
working. It's working.
Yeah, we're fine. We're good.
Yeah, we can hear you.
And we have Paul Ryugami-san. We're surfing on his channel right now. Woohoo! And then we got 4Gs. Colin, Tumbleweed goes by as we see his channel. I'm just kidding.
That's so rude.
I'm just fucking with him. No, we're gonna get back into some good stuff soon. We've been
I want
talking
to do
about
some more
it.
like
I really
co-op
want
stuff
to.
with you.
Yeah,
That's the thing I would like to save
That's
time
all I
for.
want to do right now, dude. I really wish this 64 thing was co-op. Or you know what I'm saying? The three.
I ordered it. Did you pre-order it, by the way?
Of course. Did you get the day one?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
$10 more to play it on day one. I didn't care.
I just got it through Amazon.
It's
if
getting
that's
through
what
Amazon,
you're
so it'll be here on the day it's
Yeah.
ordered.
Yeah, well, okay. How much was it? Just curious. So we are fans
60?
now. After tax.
It was
Ugh.
65.
60.
Okay, I did
yeah.
it through GameStop, but I'm not gonna lie, it was 72 with the pre-order bundle. So,
What the
or there was
fuck?
like a bonus, whatever that it
What
comes with,
pre-order bundle
What
did
are
you
you
get?
talking about? What does it do?
like a poster, I'm sure, or some bullshit. Yeah, I'm
Oh.
sure it's not worth it. But so that's a good comparison. I'm just wondering for our fans. So it's apparently in the 60s on Amazon. It's
It's sold
early
out
70s.
everywhere.
It's
Yeah,
sold out.
I figured
Yeah, it's
this would
sold out.
happen, and I should have gotten a second copy. But I am really glad because you triggered me to buy it because I was thinking I could just
Who did?
go in on to GameStop. You, Colin. I was like,
Oh, no, wait, Adam triggered me to
as
buy
you
it.
said, that's so funny. It was like a domino effect.
Yeah.
As soon as you said, I pre-ordered and I was like, oh my God, this is the game you like have to pre-order. I didn't even think about that. Like you have to
I
pre-order
never
this.
pre-order
You-
games
it will-
either.
I usually do, but not like this like rushly. I literally bought the whole game all at once and I usually put $5 down or whatever. But you know, like I didn't risk any time. Like, no, this game, I recommend if you in the audience, which is all of you friends out there, you know, if you really do want this game, just look as hard as you can right now because the closer you get, the more likely it is you're not going to get it close to launch day. So I'm going to be streaming the whole thing, by the way. So just to get that in on
Really? Seriously?
on the launch day. Yeah. I have
On
off and
launch
I'm
day?
going to take advantage of that. So as soon as it comes in the mail, I'm going to update it or whatever. And Probably not gonna need it.
That's this Friday, right?
I'm going to stream the whole thing front to back 100%. So 64,
man.
100% run.
Well, I'm
first is gonna be
confused. Front to
really
back,
fun.
like 24 hours stream.
No. But just like, so it might be a long stream though on Friday. If it comes early, I'm thinking I might do like up to 8 hours. Yeah. I'm like really dying to play it. I'm not going to lie. The
This would be
64
good.
remaster.
Yeah,
That's
I've
what
been
I'm
playing
saying,
Mario
dude.
Maker 2 a lot.
I haven't 100% in Mario 64 in a while. I think the last time I hit, it was only 10 hours. It was like really fast with you, Colin.
I don't think
You
I've
did
ever
100%?
100%ed it.
Oh, I have.
It's just so easy. Oh
I have
my
a picture
God.
of me
Yeah.
where I 100%ed it.
There's a picture of me
As
on
a
the fridge.
kid.
I have that. Oh, really? I think you showed me that.
Yeah.
With like you next to the TV, right?
I'm like, I
yeah.
don't
My
remember.
sister erased my first 120
actually, I think I'm just fighting
file, and
Bowser for the first time. I think it's actually
Oh.
70 stars.
then-
See, I've never been like a
for
completionist.
Me neither.
Yeah,
It's
the
only
only
one
game
game.
I've
Depends on the
literally the only game that I can think of that I've 100%ed. Well, I guess Pokemon, like the early Pokemon games, I 100%ed because I got all the Pokemon and beat that shit. But then also Ghost of Tsushima recently. But
Oh yeah, but
other
you
than that,
love
I haven't.
Yeah, and Paper
Yeah,
Mario.
love-
So
love
like
that.
to me, the ones that are it has to be like it has to resonate with me that I want to see like every inch of the game. And I love when a game is like that. I'm really glad Origami King was a game that I like wanted to see every inch of, and I'm still not done 100%ing it technically. I did do all the 100% notes, but I didn't, or you know what I mean, hit all the things, but I didn't get all the trophies.
Mhm.
But regardless, I love when games are like that, like Ocarina of Time and all those fun ones where you're just like, man, I just want to see all of it. It's not even about collecting everything. It's
Mhm.
about like seeing all of it. Like, where does this last mask and Majora's Mask lead me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where do I end up? So I
Yeah,
love
for sure.
completion. It's like definitely not for everyone. I know some people are like, oh, I don't really care. What does it get me? Oh, it gets me like a thing. But some games to me are worth
Yeah,
it.
platinum
like, especially,
trophy.
Yeah, exactly. Like if it's just for some bullshit,
Thanks
but like
for
if
the
it
lurk,
gives you
4Gs.
something for like lore or story, then it's absolutely more worth it in my opinion. I don't know. Hey,
Right
Dark Souls.
on. Have you guys been playing any games this week?
Man, I didn't really play much. I'm not gonna lie.
Mario Maker 2.
Me
really?
and Colin had a really
Donkey
fun
Kong
night.
Country.
Oh yeah, literally. So this one night, me
Mario
and Colin
World?
were just like, let's just.
Okay, so you
what
lied
was-
to me just now.
What night was that? It was all in one night. So it was really fun. Me and Colin were just like, yo,
Doesn't
meet you in
count.
Discord. Let's just game.
Like
And I was
two ships
okay.
passing in the night.
So we played some Donkey. What did we play
I don't
first?
think there are
Mario
any
All
ships in the
Star.
game.
Played Mario All Star, and we didn't love it, right? Yeah.
It was okay.
The controls were a little whatever. Like I feel
Mario
like
All Star is a little bit of a bummer. Like I actually played it too recently because it was on the Nintendo Switch now.
Right.
And
yep.
like I was expecting because I Mario 3 is probably my favorite Mario game ever made.
Flawless.
And so I hopped in there and it just didn't feel right. And so
it's the Super Nintendo enhanced
it's the Super Nintendo stuff. Yeah. So I was using 8-bit DOS, so I was using my like my
Which
actual
is
D-pad.
A little better than what I did.
You know, so like that bad boy. But like it just did not feel like Mario 3. So I actually switched to the regular Nintendo version of Mario 3 because I was like, it was better.
It's so much tighter. Yeah, no, I agree. It was some kind of weird enhancements to meet the control scheme. I don't even think it was necessary.
Well, I think it's just been the same since they dropped the cart way back when it originally came out, and they did that to, they everyone was like obsessed with graphics and stuff back then. So like to put it in the Super Nintendo style was a big deal back then.
Big deal, yeah.
But like to us looking back on it, I would have rather just had the original version.
I would have had the tightness, yeah. And so then we moved on to Donkey Kong Country, which I must say I cannot wait for the other two to come out in the Super Nintendo store.
Yeah.
The co-op is so fucking good. Literally, so there's two ways to play. You can do team, which I don't prefer, which is like, I go and my team collects a point for being this level. Now it's Colin's turn. He lost. Okay, my turn again. You know what I mean? Whatever. So in this one, there's the cooperative, which is I'm Donkey and you're Diddy, which is the same as the Super Nintendo couch co-op, except me and Colin literally did it online. He was Diddy and I was Donkey. As soon as I got hurt, or literally if he wanted to swap out and not do this part or this puzzle, whatever, I would do it.
Yeah.
And like, you can.
Did you do
really
that through a mod or just an emulator? Because I'm pretty sure you can just do that in an emulator. Oh, on the Switch. Oh,
it was on the Switch though, so even more beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just like free with your online membership right now. So
yeah,
I
that's
think
right. That's right.
Huge. I cannot wait for the other two to come out. I'm
I forget
really
it has that
happy about
functionality, and that's
It's
such
really
a big
incredible.
deal.
It's
we
really
can like save state
incredible.
too. The only thing I'm missing, only thing is save states instantaneous with a button. Save.
Oh
for
yeah,
loads.
but there's no
That's
way to
what I
map
want.
that. Really, there's no way to map that.
I don't think so. I wish there was, because that's like the one thing I feel like it's missing.
That would be great. But without that, given aside whatever, I thought that was very flawless. I thought that was the best out of what we played on this. And then next we played Super Mario World, which was amazing with the joystick also. Like Donkey Kong, I can't explain. Like I have not played it with a joystick yet because of just like a Game Boy, Super Nintendo, of course, like on the Wii even with like whatever, but like never with the joystick before on the Switch. And I think it is like one of the best versions of the game, honestly, especially with the co-op. So I'm like praising Nintendo for that. And I want 2 and 3, drop them for free, please. And they're going to be maybe Christmas drops. I would assume if we're going to get some eShop stuff, we probably get those and maybe some other thing we haven't gotten. I don't know. Anyway, Super Mario World was really good, but then what do we play? Mario Maker again is just so fun. Oh my god! So we're gonna make some levels for each other and
make some levels for my basic ass.
Yes, let's all. Well, how many people can play? Do you have it too? We can all.
I do have it, yeah,
levels.
but I picked it up and almost immediately put it down because it was just like the only ones that I could find were just like brutal ass levels.
We're literally
we should do
making a podcast. We're making a world, right?
That's what I want. I want a world.
Wait, let's do a podcast.
What we should do then? We should all make like 2 or 3 worlds.
So a world is 8 levels. So me and Colin will do 3 and Paul will do 2, just to make it easier on him. Yeah.
I've never built a level.
2.
That's why I gave you 2. So they can be shitty as hell. And
they
just have to be
make them so they're co-opable.
That's the only thing. It has to just be playable with multiple people. So don't just put like one of everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like
or like
it'll be really
so like the run from a show.
I would love to do
fast.
that on the podcast. Actually, that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
Or have an extra.
Yeah, we could do like a special episode where we
could do a special Wednesday episode.
Yeah. I stream on Wednesdays. We could do that.
We could do that. An extra podcast. We've never thought about doing that, where we actually game.
Well, we've kind of talked about it, and we did used to do a gaming segment on the podcast. It just didn't last very long. Yeah, it was before
like 20
you.
Episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was before you joined in.
When did I join? Like 35.
No, like 50 something.
50?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we had been doing the podcast for like a year and a half before you joined. Only 79. Maybe I lied.
No way. I've been in.
We're on
Christmas.
79. Yeah, but we had been doing the podcast for like a year and a half before you joined, bro.
That doesn't make any sense. I've been in it since Christmas.
Joined around 50. I nailed it.
All right, around 50. Let's call it 45.
All right. I think actually it is like 49. I think 49
What is today's episode? I remember we celebrated the 50 together. So we're almost at 80. So I'm around 30 to 40 episodes with you guys.
Yeah. There you go.
Which is weeks. So that makes sense because we're coming around the year anniversary. Yeah. Okay, that does make sense.
And we've taken a lot of weeks off here and there. We
probably missed 5 to 10, honestly.
Yeah. So
probably 5 to 10, I would call it.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been playing Starlink. You got me hooked on that game.
You like it now?
I actually like it now. Like, I kind of shit on it last week. I got used to the controls, and like, it's such a good game to just like drop in. Because you can just drop in, fly around, do some shit, and then just put it down and do something else.
Oh, I wasn't hosting you. Oh, shit. I'm stupid.
That's okay. I forgive you. But yeah, it's fun, man. Like, it's like No Man's Sky Light combined with Star Fox. And there's a fuck ton of Star Fox missions. Like, if you wanted to, you could play, like, just Star Fox. You know? So, it's good times, man. Yeah, Blink, no rewards during the podcast. I might make some... So what Blink in the chat is referring to is I finally got around to doing some stream point rewards. And those will be redeemable during our regular streams, but not during the podcast. I might make... Because they have like a group project reward thing. What do you call it? Community challenge. That you can set really high. So I was thinking if we set like a community challenge really high,
what the fuck?
Then
dude?
We can.
I'm not doing these.
Do like no, you don't. Guys, don't do this.
Do I have to move?
I'm just saying
push-ups.
No, I'm just saying if we set a community challenge really high, and the community builds up to that, we could do something special on the podcast for that.
Oh, okay.
But when it comes to just the regular ones, those are for my streams only, not for the podcast, just because it will break up the flow of the podcast. So anyway, and we can together think about maybe like a community challenge thing that we could do.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
And also, if you guys want to do that in your own streams for the podcast, we could implement those. So I don't know, up to you guys. Just an idea.
Idea accepted.
Cool. Anyhow, moving along, Starlink, like I said, been actually enjoying it. That's pretty much all I've played this week, other than Katana Kami is what I streamed yesterday, which is a spin-off of the Way of the Samurai series, which I absolutely love that series. The spin-off, this game, it's fun. I wouldn't say it holds up to the rest of the series, though. It's kind of like Diablo with samurai. And there is co-op. I haven't tried the co-op yet, but...
Wait, what's the name of it one more time?
Katana Kami.
Is it anything like Katana Zero?
No, nothing like Katana Zero.
Well, then I don't care about it.
Yeah.
I'm getting inundated with samurai shit right now. I feel like as much as we always wanted these games to come out, I feel like we got like the best.
This game's been around. I just didn't know.
It's been around?
Yeah, it's been around. I just didn't know about it. But like, there's one samurai game that's been in it. And you haven't even played it.
Like, I know, but I'm playing it vicariously through you and other people like that are playing it.
Fair enough.
I do need to play it really bad. I'm really annoyed with playing on my PlayStation. Like, I'd much rather just turn on my PC or my Switch or anything like that. I don't know. It's just such a loud airplane and like.
Yeah, they are loud.
I don't like the controls as much either. I don't know. Like, I'm weird like that. I'm being weird.
I feel you.
I'm just like maybe have something against it also. I don't know. Yeah. PC gaming is just so much more pure.
Yeah, I actually I almost feel the opposite about that. Like, I enjoy PC gaming quite a bit, but like my heart belongs on the couch with a controller, watching my TV across the room, playing the game.
With a Nintendo on the other side.
Any game system. Nintendo, sure, but
for me,
like
Nintendo is synonymous with like couch gaming. Like, I don't know, 4G's.
I think Nintendo really is trying to preserve the soul of couch gaming.
I don't know.
You gotta.
I mean, like, that's ideal, but I don't have time for that anymore. Really, like recently. Right. Okay, so I played Sentinels Multiverse, Shadow of the Colossus.
Amazing.
And I was able to play it on a PS4, in my front living room on a couch. That was nice.
And that's nice, cool. Isn't it? Yeah.
It was nice, but like I'm not I don't get that very often, that luxury.
Right.
Because it's like it's
Neither
too
do
annoying.
I. I'm just saying,
so
like,
it's one of those things. It's like I've just
yeah.
kind of accepted that. Sometimes I'll just have to be in my chair or something like that to do
Yeah,
this.
No,
like
I agree.
step,
like
yeah.
time wise, it's more convenient for me most of the time to be doing it here on stream.
Just pull up a game real quick, and you're just like, oh, here's a game.
Right. On stream,
or while you're streaming,
particular,
because that's while you're working. Basically.
Yeah. But like outside of my streams, I don't get a lot of gaming time. But if I do, I would prefer to be like either handheld or like on my TV instead of sitting up here in the chair I sit in all day for work and during my streams and all that shit. Like, plus I can play it on a full site. Like, I've got great monitors, but I like playing on a big ass 4K TV. Like, it's nice.
It's a good thing my TV is my monitor, so I always get that effect.
There you go. Very good.
Luxury of
not
having
but
a
anyway,
monitor.
Speaking of Shadow of the Colossus, Colin, are you ready to review that?
Yes.
Let me get
talk for so long.
Before you start, let me get the video up here.
Here comes the no Lord Yeshua words moment. Now I'll probably interrupt you a bunch.
Thanks, so we got gameplay on in the background, and the gameplay is from a YouTube called Rapid Retrospect Games. Is
shout
out the gameplay for this. If you want to check out their channel, here I'm going
to scroll down.
Rapidly retrospective
intro cutscene. That's
wow,
awesome.
beautiful game.
Yeah,
I'll try not to spoil it because I have mixed thoughts about it, but like by the same token, it's one of those games that you need to play.
Did you beat it?
Yeah, I beat it.
Nice.
Not entirely because it was good, but more for the story and just to like say I beat it. I feel like
that makes me a little sad.
Well, kind of, but it's up there with Zelda.
What?
In terms of like, in terms of storytelling and like gameplay.
Are you joking right now? Like which Zelda?
Probably Skyward Sword.
Are you fucking
close
kidding?
Breath of the Wild, but more scaled down to like Skyward Sword.
So it's like size-wise, not that size, but like
size-wise, size-wise it seems huge. Like you literally. Let's get into it.
Yeah, get into it.
Where'd you play? Where's it available? How much is it? Okay, Shadow of the Colossus, developed by Team Ico, released year 2005 originally, I guess.
They only made 2 games ever.
Got re-released.
No, they've made a few games.
Last Guardian as well.
Flower.
And they're all combined too. PS4.
That's Last Guardian, that's right.
Yeah, they're all technically in the same universe, maybe. Theoretically speaking. The lore's deep and weird.
It is, but it was really powerful.
That's incredible. Wow,
the ending,
that's very
honestly
amazing.
was like satisfying. It was like bittersweet, but also like that was great.
Wow,
so good.
That's incredible,
dude. You should play it like tonight.
Like tonight. Wow.
Just stream it just tonight, right afterwards.
Just go.
No. I think you'd really like it. I really do. I think you also fight the controls. That's my biggest gripe with it. The controls
really not on PC, huh?
When you're done with this, I've got a comment on the controls.
Okay.
When you're done. And I think it's valid.
How not quite there? In what way?
Controls. Okay, this game came out in 2005. Correct. I don't know if they fixed a lot of the controls.
You're popping a little bit.
Oh, okay. I don't know if they fixed a lot of controls.
Perfect.
In the updated version, the graphics are overhauled entirely, and they look incredible. But the I don't know about the controls. I can't speak to that if they are or not. They feel.
I can when you're done.
Kind of okay.
I can.
They feel kind of like there's just something that doesn't feel good about them a lot of times, and I was constantly fighting my controls and my camera, and riding the horse was really sluggish and weird.
Not Epona.
No, it was not Epona, but it's more realistic though. So like you couldn't just turn on a dime, and the horse wouldn't just be coming running out of the way.
Is that pleasurable though to the gamer to be more realistic in that way?
And that's the problem is that they were trying to go for realism, but then they failed in that respect as well because they said you can climb almost anything, but then they wouldn't really show you what you could climb, what you couldn't. And then sometimes you get confused and say, well, what can I climb? What am I available to climb? Because like you've told me I can climb almost anything, but now I'm, feeling to climb this rock that's not very high. That seems like it has a little bit of an edge, but I should be able to walk on that. Because at one point I'm upside down, holding onto a monster.
That might be a graphical. That might be like a power of the console at the time.
I think it might have been. I think it might have been like a limitation. Yeah,
limitation of the console.
I think it feels better than Breath of the Wild. In terms of climbing,
insane.
That feels better.
Wow.
The stamina meter I felt like was really tight and everything, and like I never felt like I felt like it was just perfect. Like the way that you approach it, it's very much Zelda-like boss. It's 16 boss fights. That's all it is. The entire game. It's just 16 boss fights, and then time in between to find them basically.
That's amazing.
and they all have like a puzzle to unlock basically.
Which
so
is
I'll
incredible.
I'll give you an example. Like there's one that's this big bird basically, and it's massive. Like it's as big as a building, right? Like I can't even begin to conceptualize how big this thing is compared to you.
That's
and
amazing.
it's in the air, and you shoot it basically with an arrow, and you get its attention, and its eyes turn red, and it turns on you, and it swoops down to hit you basically. And you have to jump at the right time and grab onto it as it flies up in the air, and then you're basically fighting to try and like hit its weak spots.
Amazing.
And so like
so
those
much like
moments,
Breath of the Wild.
yeah, those moments were really cool, you know. And I feel like Zelda could take a note from.
They probably have. What are you talking about?
I think they have. Honestly, Breath of the Wild feels like a soft continuation of Shadow of the Colossus.
Are you telling me this game is better than some Zelda games?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say some Zelda games.
Wow, you're blowing my mind.
Yeah,
I have to play this game.
You have to. Understand though, the controls are literally infuriating.
Okay, but now we'll get to how much that holds it against it.
Okay. So the gameplay was fun. I mean, like the first few bosses especially were great. The latter few were kind of more gimmicky and annoying. Like I started seeing the game part less of like being immersed in it. You know, I was like, I'm playing a game. You gotta hit this switch to do this, and then now
that's kind of frustrating. It's kind of how God of War got for me a little bit.
Right.
Press a button, do an action.
Right, and that became like apparent what I was doing. And was like, that's not as fun. Where the first few ones was like kind of fun to figure it out and like learn it. Where like the later ones, I end up being like, I want to finish this, so I ended up actually looking up some of the guides online, and like that was nice. I was like glad I did that because I would have been like frustrated and just walked away.
Yeah.
So it was nice to be like, okay, so I was doing this right. The controls were just fighting me. You know, a couple times it was like I did that, but the controls literally fought me on this. Like one of the last few bosses is just like not fun. You know, but after you get through all this, it becomes worth it with the story and like just kind of the story that you were part of, basically. So. The art was beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Let me see here.
It's very much like it deals with like light and shadow. That's a theme in it a lot. And so you're constantly like very aware when you're in sunlight versus in the shadow. And like they like use, you know, different creatures and I think to like overshadow you, just show how massive these things are. Like it's incredible how big these bosses are. And how good of job they did with the scope of that, you know, like it really is like, oh my god, this person is huge. You know?
Shadow
like,
of the Colossus.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
The music is okay. I wasn't thrilled. There's some parts I thought was really good. Some parts were really cool, and when like it was like the one time the music kicks in, it gets really good, but then it just kind of peters out, and I didn't feel like it was.
It makes you kind of sad.
It wasn't anything that really got stuck in my head per se. You know, it was like, oh, this is fun, but like. I didn't feel like it was really like so captivating that I would like listen to it away from it like I would maybe Zelda, you know? So that was a little bit disappointing, but it was still good. It still did what it needed to do because there was almost no music in the game, you know? Like
it's almost better for what it was trying to do.
It only kicked in once the boss fight started basically. So there's like no music for a while, you know?
Okay,
and then it's kind of the repeat of the same themes. And it's kind of neat because you get this habit of like this thing where your horse, which in my opinion is one of the almost best parts of the game and also the worst part because like driving the thing is annoying, but like you build this relationship with this, you know, this creature basically named Aggro. And honestly, you have more of a bond than you would have like with Epona because you watch this horse get hurt at some point and it goes down and you're like, oh my God, is my horse okay? And then it gets itself back up and shakes itself off and then starts running for you because it's like trying to help you. So like you're in the middle of this huge boss battle. And normally like when you're like not finding a boss, you're like Aggro, you know, and you're, oh, by the way, you sound like Link. He literally goes, hut. It's like, it's Link. This is Link.
You do sound a lot like Link, yeah.
It's ridiculous how much you sound like. I was like, this is the same voice
insane.
actor. Dude, it's all there. It's hilarious.
It might be the same voice actor potentially. It was the same era.
I doubt it. But anyway, there's this part though where you're basically like, you have this horse and you go Aggro and you kind of get his attention or you whistle at him. But then when you're like in a boss fight, you're screaming his name running across the desert or something like that. You know, you're just like Aggro, and then like he's running to you to kind of help you basically. And like he's always looking out for you. And then every single time you come back to the main base without your horse and then he's not there. And then he shows up, you know, a few minutes later, basically to be like,
would you say
you ran back? So
would you say that the controls like make it feel like really cinematic, or do they like pull it out?
When they work, it's so good.
How often is that?
Oh, man, it's not. It's like 60% of the time.
I was gonna save this for the end, but since you guys are talking about the controls so much, I gotta interject because the controls are intentionally this way. You're intentionally supposed to feel like you're struggling for your life to hold on to a fucking gigantic monster that's trying to fling you across the universe.
Yeah,
You know,
but
like
the rules didn't make sense. The laws of physics weren't connecting. Like
Yeah.
at one point, I literally grabbed onto an edge, and then he teleported back up, fell off again, teleported back up, and then I was thrown off. And it's like,
so it's
that
not
can't be-
without glitches, but
Yeah.
I would say
Well, that's just glitch,
overall,
it sounds like.
every game
it's
has
incredible.
glitches.
It's incredible this game came out in 2005.
But,
Let me just
yeah,
say
yeah.
that. And I'm glad they did it anyway, despite the control issues, because it's literally influenced games like Last of Us.
Look
Yeah.
at this game.
Mhm.
Jesus hell.
Yeah.
I need to play this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but do you see how he's like swinging his head around and it's like whipping you around and you have to like grab on?
Hold on with the hold. I got
so like
it. I mean,
that
like,
literally is how you feel when you're playing the game, and it's executed better in this version of it. In the PS2 version of it, it was worse. It wasn't as good. They did clean up the controls a little bit.
I figured.
You can even see this person fall and get up like 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a control. It's like basically kind of like Breath of the Wild, where you can like climb on anything, you know.
Most things, yeah.
It kind of makes sense. This
right.
kind of game would be hard to do though. At the same
Yeah,
time.
well, I think it's real physics. So like your character is
Which is
interacting
crazy.
in a more realistic way.
Right, which
And
is
so
what
There's
like
bound to be
unfortunately-
missteps though
Yeah.
in physics if like
and,
two
and those
corners
missteps
collide.
are infuriating because like you
Oh,
miss your
terrible.
chance and you have to reset the cycle sometimes. And it's like, I don't want to do this again. You know,
Sure.
I literally had to walk away a few times. I just paused it and just walked away. And PS4 is awesome because it lets you pick back up where you started. You know, immediately.
Yeah, but that kind of still speaks to my point, I think, about it being like literally intentionally that way. Because if the controls were so tight that you could just climb up and just go and stab the thing and then go to the next part and stab the thing, like that wouldn't feel like a battle with a fucking giant.
No,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
get it, but like, I feel like a
you're
lot of
right though.
times
There is
I
some
was just
glitchiness
frustrated.
in the game. Yeah,
I was just like frustrated
Yeah.
on parts because I was like, I don't know what is expected of me here.
Right.
You know, like this
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. They're not telling me what I can climb on, what I can't. Like all this looks the same to me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't climb on that, but I can climb on this. Okay. You know,
Yeah.
like that was really
it's
frustrating
confusing
me.
for the player. Yeah.
Like
it's
again, like
nuts.
up to this certain point, they hadn't even taught you really how to climb on anything except for these. Well, the first part they teach you is how to climb on the hair, basically, or like the I don't know what it is, the hair or the grass of them.
Yeah.
And
The
so
roots.
like
Any kind of like shaggy substance is
yeah,
climbable.
so like that teaches you like that, but then like it doesn't teach you like other things what to look out for, basically. And that would have been nice to kind of have like a little like, hey, this is what to look out for, you know, just to kind of so when you get to that point, you're like, I know how to do this, you know. An aha moment would have been nice. Where I feel like I really struggled with the controls almost the entire time. I don't think I played long enough. I beat the game, but like I don't think I really like.
How long did you play?
I don't remember. It's probably I played over like 3 or 4 days, so probably
20
probably around
hours.
like no, probably like maybe 10, 12. It's not very long. It's a very short game.
Okay.
You can beat it in like 5 hours apparently.
Yeah, because it's literally just boss battles. So it's not like you're like
Cuphead.
between areas you're fighting like basic enemies and stuff or mini bosses
Right.
even. Like you go from one area to the next and just fight a boss. And the whole game is huge. So
Sounds
like
amazing.
Colin said, part of the game
watch this
is
footage.
a puzzle, like trying to figure out where to even go. And
Yeah, I
there's a
love
cool
this.
mechanic for that too. But
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd really like this, Josh. I think you'd really
Yeah, I'm
check out
already
this
loving
game.
this. But I
Yeah.
gotta play on the Poo Poo 4.
PS4. You know, honestly, it's not too bad. I played on the PS4 and I thought it was
Alright.
a fun experience. So
Okay.
just digitally download it. That way you can get it tonight. I can watch it
Yeah.
and you stream it. Perfect.
There we
Perfect.
go.
But yeah, overall my rating would be
Not tonight.
I'd say probably like 7 out of 10 because like the good
Oof.
parts are so good, you know, like the bad parts that like really kind of ruin it for me are outweighed heavily by the good parts because like when
Okay.
it really works, like okay, so I'm saying like when you do climb it properly and you do understand the creature and like you do like get the hits properly, that feels really good. You know, you're like panicking, you're not sure what to do. Aggro's there, you're screaming at his name, he's helping you out, and then you get on this beast, start killing it basically. And that feels really good because it's just like this moment of clarity of like this is what the video game designer wanted from this, and this is the feeling that you're
That's
trying to go
awesome.
for. So like when it's good, it's so good, but when it's bad, it's kind of infuriating. But again, I feel like it makes up for it. Like I'd say 7 out of 10 for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
So,
Sounds worth playing. 7 is a little low for my liking, honestly, to be close to a Zelda game, which are all 10.
If it makes you feel
but
better, I would give it like an 8.9 or a 9 personally.
If the
But
story is as good as a Zelda game, though, that's
it's really
the
good.
story's incredible.
It's completely different than Zelda, but
Oh, wow,
like
Paul
it's,
gives it a 9. Interesting.
it's its own like. Dude, it's good. And I think maybe you'll be better with the controls. Maybe I just really suck at the controls, but like I I really, I don't play a lot of PS4 games or use that controller at all, and I just constantly was like, what is this again? What do I do?
See, I feel like it's a matter of conceptualizing like what they have the controls designed for, because like literally when you're climbing you have to grab, there's a button to grab, right? Like it's
just
you
like
don't just
Breath of
like
the Wild, right?
yeah, and like you've got your stamina meter and this and that, and you're whipping around all over the place, like realistic physics. Like if there certainly is some frustrating parts, like you've seen in the gameplay that we have on in the background, the guy falls a lot, and that can be extremely frustrating for sure.
Because there's no like halfway point. It's all or nothing. You got to beat this on your one.
Unless you can like lucky grab like a corner of it.
Health wasn't really too upsetting though. That I felt like that was pretty frugal with health.
Yeah. But yeah, nice. Kind of like knowing what you're in for going into the game, I think is important. I think that's
good.
why a lot of people disliked it, initially.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. Apparently it didn't like, it was like a cult following, but like wasn't a huge hit
it's for sure a cult following.
The bow was good though. That was a good part of the controls.
Yeah,
I was really
amazing.
happy with. Yeah, they had like
watching it.
I know.
Yeah. But the story's incredible. It's very subtle, and you kind of got to pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah,
I like that.
And it definitely
like
pulls. It's got like a good like some twists and turns to it too. You think you're doing one thing, and it turns out some other crazy shit's going on. But yeah, it's good shit. So yeah, I could totally see someone giving it a 7. For sure. And it's one of my all-time favorite games, like literally one of my all-time favorites, top 10.
I think I would have enjoyed it more if I played it when I was younger, in all honesty, because I would have been more forgiving of the controls. But now, like knowing what it can be, like to have played Breath of the Wild, which has more tighter controls, than this, in my opinion, and kind of knows what it is and kind of sticks to those safe spots. It was kind of frustrating to play again. I played a little more loose with the controls, and it was older as well, in terms of the quality of the controls. So I think.
But imagine if that had been
tainted that a little bit,
Imagine if that came out now, though.
I'm saying like if I had played that, if I played Shadow of the
well,
it could. This game could come out today, I think.
Well,
this was a full remake of the game. This wasn't a remaster. This was a full remake of the game that came out. Yeah,
it feels like a game.
Like
AAA indie game.
2016 maybe, or 2017, something like that.
I don't remember.
A full remake, really? It's not a remaster?
It's a full-on remake.
Seems like it's a full remake.
Yeah,
like,
it's a full-on
remake. The controls were
yeah.
kind of fixed and everything too. Like I wouldn't want to play the original. I don't think I would enjoy that now. At the time, I probably would have, but now I think I would.
Yeah. So they did. So this is technically like the third iteration of the game. You had the original on PS2, and then they did a remaster on PS3. And that's the version that I played initially, was the remaster. And then they came out with the remake a few years ago, and then I got that one too, because like I said, it was one of my favorite games of all time. So
it's amazing.
But yeah, it's fantastic. But yeah, I could see if you get frustrated and have like not patient with the controls, I could totally see. Because the controls are probably by far the most frustrating part of the game.
Yeah.
By far. And so if that's not something that you can get used to, I could easily see giving a 7 or maybe
I was
even
glad
lower.
I didn't stream it,
Yeah.
I was glad I didn't stream it.
It's the only thing that's wrong with the game. I think I can handle it.
I think you'll love it, Josh. Honestly, I'm really excited to see your reaction. I mean, go into it, with being like, hey, this is a game I'm just going to enjoy,
Yeah. Take your time with it too. Like,
yeah. I just walked away. Every time I'd beat a Colossus, I'd be like, okay, I'm done for now,
Yeah.
So,
which is another good way to play it too. With regard to the horse mechanics, I agree. The horse mechanics could have been better. What they were trying to do with the remake was make all the horse riding look very cinematic. Like you can see right here,
that was
it
rough.
looks
like
extremely.
Turn is just like aggro.
Yeah. So,
aggro.
but that also doesn't really lend itself very well to like super tight horse controls.
Yeah, I think it was more realistic though. But again, that frustrated me because it was like it's super realistic. Everything is the horseplay, like or the horse riding and like the climbing. But then you couldn't climb stuff like this, like these things in the background you can see in the video right now. You couldn't climb that.
Right.
Yeah.
You
but it's
can't
like
climb any of that
what?
stuff.
But I can climb these monsters while they're slinging me around and everything and hold on perfectly. Come on, that was that was kind of irritating because then I didn't know what I could climb on. I was like, well, what are the rules of this world now?
So I think I think that is an effect of having played Breath of the Wild. Like when this game came out, being able to climb everything in a video game didn't exist for the most part. Like think of how many games you can actually climb everything.
I think Breath of the Wild
not very many.
Ruined that.
Breath of the Wild kind of yeah.
And so I think that could be where like that game giving you the ability to do that, which is awesome. It's a great freedom in a video game. It kind
literally
of
looks like Breath of the Wild.
It kind of breaks other games for you. Yeah.
Right, and I really do think it's on sale digitally for $10.
Wow, probably get it.
There you go, get it. But yeah, is that your final thoughts on it? Cool.
My final thoughts.
We'll take
nice,
this off.
7 out of 10.
I love
I'll
it. Definitely play it, man.
Yeah,
I think you'll love it, and it's
tonight.
Goddamn gorgeous.
I'll watch.
Especially if you have a PS4 Pro in 4K. Oof,
nope.
Goddamn. Well,
I'll just have a poop S4.
Yeah, it's still good.
Sucks.
Still good. Cool. Very good.
Nice.
Well, I'm glad that you had the chance to experience one of my favorite games of all time.
I'm glad I did too.
Stole the game.
It's an important.
You totally did steal that game.
Wouldn't load. I still can't get Remnant to load properly. It just won't work my computer.
Remnant, so you're like, yeah, I'll steal this.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, what do I have left? What's my next thing?
There should be plenty on there. We can start backfilling that though.
Yeah, we can start filling it back up.
Shining Force. One of y'all should play.
Are you gonna do Starlink?
No, I don't know if I'll review Starlink because I'm playing that super casually. My next two games that I'm going to review, I still have Space Station Silicon Valley that I need to give my review for. I'm gonna destroy that game.
He's gonna annihilate that game.
Like a sneak peek, and then also the Samurai Jack video game.
Shit on it. Samurai Jack looks fun. I bet you'll give that a 7 though. That's my bet.
Yeah, probably.
6 or 7. Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, those are the ones that I have upcoming as far as reviews are concerned. But yeah, there's still a good mix of stuff on there. Topic question, boys and girls. You ready to get into a video game topic?
Not news yet. Topic time.
Not news yet. So here we go. A trend in gaming for a while has been to remake or remaster games. Oh, how convenient! We just played a remake of.
Weird.
Yeah.
Look at that.
How do you feel about that trend? That's the first part of the question. Second part is, should companies continue to remake games? And then the final part of the question is, should Sony or Nintendo remake classic consoles to play old games on? So let's rewind back up to the top and start there. The trend of remaking and remastering video games. How do you feel?
I have such a strong opinion on this, honestly. So
go for it.
I think it really depends on the game, of course. Like some games you get a remake and it's like, who is this for? Like, okay, like some cult classics, of course you want to see that being remade. But sometimes remakes are just random. Like Shadow of the Colossus, I'm really glad that got a remake because now I get to play that. That's awesome. And they're doing the Mario 3D, maybe not total remake, but at least a remaster edition, and that qualifies for the remaster, I would say. Link's Awakening and all that. So we've seen lots of really, really good ones lately. I would say overall, I love them completely, and I think the more they do, I guess the more that are going to stick and resonate with certain people. So like the more you keep just grinding them out, the more people are just going to be like, oh, that's a game I never got to play, or oh, that's a game that I did love as a kid. And there's almost nothing wrong with that if done properly. So I do have a certain like 50-50 thing on this where like, so the Mario 3D collection and Link's Awakening, I'm going to use as examples. Mario 3D collection, 3D All-Stars. I love this idea so much, and it is a remaster. So we're not really getting too much different, maybe some control variances and some tweaks with Galaxy and 64, but like, aside from, or like some, I don't know, variances maybe, but for the most part, these games are going to be more or less unchanged, right? So that's great. And a lot of people get to play them again but for the people that already played them, it's like, are we really getting too much different? We're just getting these games again, which is going to be awesome. Don't get me wrong. I love this, but we're just getting that game again. Okay. Link's Awakening now. That's a remake. That's like the whole new game, like a completely top-down overhaul of that game. So for anyone who didn't know the difference between remaster and remake, remaster is literally a tweaked up version of the same game, no graphical super enhancements or anything. Maybe
they might like clean up edges and textures, but
and you'll notice some things and maybe they'll add a few things and be like, oh, this is definitely a quintessential version of the game. The deluxe edition, they often call it. Remakes, though, are literally they take the model of the game, strip it down to the blueprint, and then slather a new coat of paint on it completely and make it a new game. A good example is Link's Awakening, Final Fantasy VII, Shadow of the Colossus, where they strip it out to the guts and they make it brand new. So Link's Awakening is something I would much rather see. I would much rather have gone 3 individual games of the Marios completely remade.
I know.
New controls, 64 remake. Like, wow, they had a shot. And now we're most likely not getting that, at least for another like 5 years, probably. Or like till the 40th,
10.
you know what I mean? 40th anniversary is maybe, but like, yeah, 10 is more likely. Regardless, though, there's nothing wrong with remasters, although it does pander to the audience a little more and seem like more of a cash grab. But a remake is like truly what we love. Like, hear our voices. There's no one who really likes a remaster more than a remake, I don't think, unless you really just want that same game again. Maybe like it's a game you couldn't have again. You're like, oh, Mario RPG got a remaster. Or even Donkey Kong Country in the SNES store. I'm like, oh, this is so good. The co-op is now online. What a nice tweak. No alterations, but now you can use a joystick on it and it's online co-op. Like, what a great remaster. Technically, it's a remaster. You know, it's cleaned up and it's put on the online store for free. So that's great. But again, it's not like something everyone's looking for. I would love it to keep continuing, though. So even at this rate, and if it's not necessarily something I want always, like the Mario one is still something I want. There are going to be ones I don't. And like, yeah, those are going to be for someone. So I think that keep making them. I think every company should keep making them. And I think they should just keep making games from like the most popular to the most obscure just to hit demographics for everyone. And, you know, you'll make games that everyone kind of wants that way. I think it's a really cool idea. I don't know. Next.
So I'm kind of with you, Josh. My feelings on this are kind of like trifold, I would say. So like number one, you've got cash grab remakes or remasters. Fuck those. Not into it.
Especially remasters are like literally, and I hate to say the Mario, like I want to see, like I'm going to do the top down 100% because I want to see if it's truly a remaster, if it's enhanced in any way, because cash grabs are kind of insulting. Like,
But then you got
like,
the next aspect of remasters would be like games that aren't readily available to be played anymore get remastered on something new, and that's great. I dig
that's
that.
where 64 kind of qualifies, where no one has an N64 except for huge 30-year-old nerds, you know, like us. So like that's great. You're not going to play that otherwise.
So those are kind of like my two aspects of like remasters. Remakes are usually awesome,
universally accepted,
but now there's a big old squishy butt there.
Squishy brown butt.
Sometimes remakes are shitty, and that's probably the biggest bummer ever, especially if it's a game you love. Like
one of the Manas really a bad remake, or no?
No. Actually there was a remake of the original Secret of Mana.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That was really bad.
They tried to do what Link's Awakening did. Well, I think this came out before Link's Awakening did, but I think it was attempted to do that style. And it
came out
succeed.
way before. It was they released it on mobile.
It was a while ago,
and like PSP or something like that, and it was just a trash version of the game.
Yeah. Instead of this beautiful hand-drawn like digital art that we got.
Yeah. Now
you know what I mean, hand digitalized. Yeah,
right. Now the remake of Trials of Mana, on the other hand, is incredible.
That was the good.
It's real good. It's real fun.
I might get that on my Switch. Yeah.
Right. And so like those are kind of like two actually great examples of a good remake versus a bad remake. And bad remakes just like tear your soul out, you know, because you're looking forward to this like really awesome history, this really awesome piece of your childhood reimagined in this beautiful new way, and then it turns out to be complete ass. And you know, like what are you gonna do? Like you just throw that shit away, you know? So
that's kind of how I don't even want to say this because it's like probably an unpopular opinion, but like, I'm really good at intuition with games. So like I can kind of tell, like kind of intuitive with like when a game is coming out. We talked about Paper Mario. I gave it a chance. That was like my big swing. Okay. Final Fantasy is one, honestly. This is the controversial statement that I don't really like the changes they added into the game. I don't know. I want like more old school. Like I would have appreciated more of a remake in its shell than like a new game is what we got. So like sometimes like you're saying the game is just so different that sure people will like this new version of it, But for me, I still like a remake. I want to be the original. Like Link's Awakening, I think is just the perfect. I think it's like the best remake ever, honestly, because it is still that same game, and yet the enhancements make it so much better quality of life wise.
Yeah.
That you get a better version of the game, and it is redone, and it reminds you of the old game, and you're like, wow, they remember when they did that when I was 12? Like, God, that was a cool part. Oh, it looks so good now.
Yeah,
like,
it really is.
That's what you want. Like, and that feeling rarely comes through in a remake. Like
sure.
I want to play Shadow of the Colossus because according to you, like it's even better every time, right? You're saying the remake is like amazing.
Oh
like,
yeah, dude.
Would
I
you say
love
it's the
it.
quintessential? So that's great. Like I love hearing that. It's the same with like Link's Awakening for me, and I'm sure for you too. Like, played it when I was 10, and God, it's good. But yeah, it's really hard to hit that mark. What's Colin's opinion? Did we get there yet?
No. I mean, yeah, like I think I probably echo some of Paul's sentiments that I love when they hit the mark, but when they don't, it's disappointing, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a little disappointed with the ones coming out. Like I wish it was a full remake
with 3D All Stars.
Yeah.
Like as much as we were like immediately take my money, Nintendo. Like take my money, I need it. But
they did the front of the palace. They even like kind of teased us with Odyssey because like you literally can go to the palace in Odyssey and 64 basically.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and that's surprising that they didn't just take that and just
roll
I don't
with
know.
it.
Yeah, a little disappointing. So.
And honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. The fact that there's not another Odyssey or like another big Mario new launch this year. Was Paper Mario really our new Mario game this year in the year of Mario?
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with COVID. Here's the thing, Josh. All of those announcements that we just got, we were supposed to get back in April.
That's fair.
So
maybe we'll get a Mario game
that's a little bit of
year.
perspective. Yeah, that's entirely possible. We don't know.
And we are getting 3D enhancement. Maybe it's like a whole new like enhanced game. You know, that'd be really cool.
So the next question is, should companies continue to remake them? I feel like we kind of answered that, but I'm going to amend this one a little bit. And here's what I'm going to say. Should companies continue to remake them in lieu of new games? And my answer to that would be no, actually. I would rather see new games for the most part, or at least progress towards new games than a remake.
Yes.
You know, if a company has the resources to do both, then fuck yeah, make those remakes. You know,
I'm honestly not sure. I'm pretty torn, because that whole like a remake, if it's really like gonna revive a game that needs it desperately, like I would rather have an Ocarina of Time top-down remake than a new Zelda game, honestly, because I know it's gonna be good. That's
you want a top-down Ocarina of Time?
Oh yeah, baby.
That would I'd be like super hard for that. Because I prefer the top-down Zeldas. In all honesty,
all of that, but with like the more realistic than Link's Awakening.
More
realistic than Link's Awakening graphics is what I would want, though.
Yeah.
Like, and so, but anyway, like anything like that, or like an HD remake of Majora's Mask. Come on, like that one guy fan made. It's like, why can a fan make that and Nintendo can't just give us what we want? Anyway, but okay, so I think that some games are so powerful that they like warrant a remake. Like some like Mario 64 and Zelda are like in the canon, in the slingshot, like ready to get launched at fans. It's like, where is the remake for these games? And a bunch of countless other games for other consoles too. Like I'm sure the Halo fans are like, how have you not remastered like complete top down these? Sure, you get bundles and shit, right? But like, looks like poop.
So
but
the part of why I related the revamp of this question and what you were saying was your big complaint about Mario this year is we got a bunch of remasters and stuff, but we didn't get a new Mario game.
Yeah, and okay, that's fair. You kind of caught me there. I'm not even gonna lie, but they're not. I was saying a remake. So okay, let me clarify my statement. A remake qualifies in what I'm saying, but a remaster, I don't even think is worth making over a new game at all.
Yeah.
I do think a remaster should not even be considered. If a remaster of Skyward Sword comes out instead of a new Zelda game next year, I'll be really pissed.
I think we're going to get a collection. I think we're getting Skyward Sword. I think we're getting the HD remake of whatchamacallit.
Wind Waker.
Well, Wind Waker and of
I think
the other one, the
Twilight
Princess, yeah.
I think if I'm gonna predict on the pack, I think they're gonna do 3s for the next few years. It's gonna be like a Nintendo theme. And I think if I'm predicting, it'll be Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and Skyward Sword, so we
Majora's
can do each
Mask.
console. I don't think they're gonna do Majora's Mask, honestly.
No, dude, I think that here. Let me
They
kind
want
of
to
back
sell the copies. They want to
Yeah.
sell copies, and Ocarina of Time is not on the Switch yet.
I don't think they're gonna do Ocarina of Time.
Oh, that's crazy.
I think they're gonna do
I'm not even worried about it. I know they are.
So I would love it if they do, but
they did they do 64 GameCube and Wii is what I'm thinking, like they did.
Yeah,
here.
I could see that, but I think they're gonna do because you've got both the HD remaster of fuck. Why is this? I keep blanking on this.
You're talking about the one for the Wii U, but they're also bringing up 3D World Deluxe Edition from the Wii U. They brought up a lot of things.
I know. I'm just saying that we've got those two. We've got two HD remakes
I see what you're
of
saying
Zelda
now.
games that came out late in the Wii U's life.
Yeah.
That should have gotten ported to the Switch, and so I guarantee you they're going to do that, and then they're going to throw one more in. And Skyward Sword makes sense to me, but maybe not. Maybe Skyward Sword's the odd man out. Maybe Skyward Sword doesn't get brought over, and they bring over Ocarina of Time. That being said, we have already seen leaked Skyward Sword, special edition stuff.
Honestly, now that you're saying it, I might change my answer. Not from Ocarina of Time, but do Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, and then they're going to release a separate HD deluxe edition of Wind Waker.
Actually, no. I've got it.
Ooh.
I've got it.
Bring it.
I've got it. So, how with Mario, we got Mario 64, we got Wet Mario, and we got
Water Mario.
Yeah. And
literally, arguably the best controls in a Mario game.
Yeah, fine.
In my opinion.
So we got those three, and Mario Galaxy, right?
Can't wait
so we
to
got
use
those three.
But
then we got a fourth Mario game, which was Mario 3D World, all enhanced and all that
which
shit.
Which is a Wii U port.
Yeah. So here's the thing. This is what we're gonna get. We're gonna get in the 3-pack. We're gonna get Wind Waker, fucking the GameCube one that I just got the name for, and it's already left my head. And
Twilight Princess.
Yeah, Twilight Princess, yes. And maybe Zelda 64, right?
It has to be
Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time. That's what I'm saying.
Sells copies.
Ocarina of Time. Yeah. So that's what we'll get. And then the fourth one is going to be that special edition of Skyward Sword that we saw leaked already.
It's either that or I don't know if they want to do two GameCubes on the same disc though. It's on the same cartridge.
No, it's not
Well, Twilight Princess was for the Wii also. They could argue that and give it motion controls. They could do the Twilight Princess Wii version. Yeah, they could do that.
I'm just saying, that to me, that makes the most sense, especially if you look at the games that they released for Mario. Like, it's literally like the same lineup of games.
Only issue... Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, you've got 64, GameCube, and Wii on the 3-pack, and then you've got the Wii U as a separate... Yeah. Well, I guess that one's not Wii U.
That's the thing. That's the thing. But the only issue here, that's why the HD remake could be the solo, because it was a Wii U
Mario
game.
Galaxy. Oh, never mind. Yeah,
that's the thing. The HD remake could be the Wii U one port for its solo game, or they could use Wind Waker original and remaster it instead. And because the one issue with Wind Waker needing maybe its own game is that its control scheme is kind of independent. So it has the touchscreen. I don't know how they're even going to port the HD version. That would be kind of a hassle, and you might.
Yeah, but the original didn't have a touchseen. I'm sure they could just.
So
I know the HD, but I don't think it'd be hard to reintegrate the old menu system.
That's true
from
too.
the remaster. So
I really liked the HD remake, just even graphically and like music enhancements and like the touchscreen was like the best part for me though on the Swift sale, of course.
So hey, here's another theory though. There was a dual screen Switch model in the in the firmware update from a couple updates ago on the Switch, right? That, let's say the Switch Pro that's more than likely coming out next year has a dual screen, and then you still can integrate that same model that's just me. I don't know. Speculating.
Like transfer your data via the Nintendo network.
Mm-hmm. What?
When you get a new Switch, or are you going to lose all your old shit?
Oh yeah, you can transfer.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's how people do. Like they implemented that when the Lite came out.
I'll probably be getting it just because I think the Switch is kind of here to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited.
So let's get on
like
to
the
the final part of the question. Should Sony and Nintendo remake classic consoles to play old games on? My answer is
Oh.
yes. Fuck
Okay.
Oh
yes,
yeah,
they should.
that's cool.
I
Because
think not only is it yes, go
I need
ahead,
to play
sorry.
PS2 games. Like that's it. Like I
Not
have
only
PS2.
is it yes, but I think this is a genius way to get people to play dedicated games on the original console. So
Yeah.
I think they should be remaking a Super Nintendo that you can plug into your TV with an AV or whatever, HDMI, I guess now, and use a Super Nintendo controller and play 100 games in the inventory. Maybe even
Well, you
download
got-
them. Maybe it's online. You can
Well, you
download
do
it.
have the Nintendo Mini, and you can.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
so I'm
not.
kinda saying,
It's you got to backdoor it, but you can load whatever games you want on.
I think Nintendo is doing the best right now as far as they're giving you a bunch of the games for free with your
Mhm.
online membership, and it's just not broad enough yet.
Yeah.
But that's really good. So if you have a Switch, you really have like 3 consoles right now, and maybe get more in the future. But that's cool. And any other game console should, yeah, totally. Where was I going?
I think you were just finishing your answer
Yeah,
to
I
that
was
question.
finishing my thought.
Colin, do you have an opinion on that? Yes, no.
Yes.
Yeah,
Cool.
It's a great,
All
great
right.
idea.
Yes.
Keep us giving us more games in every form,
Yeah.
guys.
And then we do have news. We are getting real close to the hour mark, but we can go a little over. We can go through some of this stuff pretty quick too. Xbox Series S officially announced last week. $299 is the price for the Series S.
Mad low.
The Series X is $499.
Come on,
Both
that's
are
bullshit.
releasing on November 10th. Now, the one thing that I will say about the price of these is if you buy them through Microsoft, you can get literally no interest financing on them, bundle it with your Game Pass, and you actually end up ultimately saving like $20 on the price of the console. And you're paying monthly, so it's not like you're dropping $500 right on the counter when you go get the thing. And if you've got the Game Pass, you already have games that you can play day one.
Oh,
So
wow.
I believe it's 25 or 30 a month, 35 a month. So that's kind of a good deal, honestly.
Take a lesson from Steam, I think, except that's free.
Yeah. Our next bit of news is that Josh was right for once in his life.
Damn it, dude. Why did you tell me?
Predicting correctly.
Josh was predicting some pretty bold stuff. He
That
predicted
Nintendo
a new
would
Zelda
not
game
be done
this
and
year.
A new Zelda game. I think I did do. Yeah.
He did, and we are getting a new standalone Zelda game. Now, there's a caveat to this. It's a Hyrule's Warriors game, so it's in the style.
Caveat is it's not a true Zelda.
It's not really a true Zelda game,
but they're saying the story is going to connect actually in the canon.
So it's a prequel
really cool.
to Breath of the Wild that goes 100 years into the past.
So we know the outcome,
point of the calamity.
We know the outcome, obviously, of how Breath of the Wild started and ended, but now we're filling in all those gaps. And it's really cool. I think
that is cool. So that's actually going to make like a Breath of the Wild trilogy. You've got Hyrule Warriors, Breath of the Wild, and then Breath of the Wild 2. So that's actually cool. I think that's the first time they've ever done a trilogy in Zelda.
Yeah, and I'm going to say just right away, your opinion on Hyrule Warriors or whatever, Dynasty Warriors aside, if you are a humongous Zelda fan and you are really trying to get all the story, I think it's really going to drive home some extra stuff in Breath of the Wild 2 if you play this. So I personally am going to play it. Not only because I did enjoy the first Hyrule Warriors and I didn't think it stayed fresh enough, so I'm excited to play a new version of that. But I think the story is actually going to be meaningful this time. They worked like whatever the game company is worked really closely with the Zelda team this time. They said so, like even closer than last time. So the story is really going to integrate through Breath of the Wild and most likely permeate into Breath of the Wild 2. I'm sure it's not needed to play either of those games. I'm sure not. But if you're a massive fan, I can already tell that this is going to be really awesome in that regard. So I'm really happy for that alone. And like the whole revamp.
I agree. I think it's great.
A rehash. I'm glad it's not the same thing again.
Yeah.
And it's like a totally new way. And
I'm excited. And it looks rad, honestly. It looks
really good in the Breath of the Wild art style. I think that's a no-brainer right off the bat now that I'm looking at it. Yeah. But I think it's gorgeous.
Yeah. Next bit of news. This one's kind of a personal win for me. Project X Cloud, which is Microsoft's cloud gaming service, their Netflix of video games, officially launched its beta. And because I jumped on originally when they announced Project X Cloud, I actually got sent a badge and like they're digital, like a badge and a like a video meeting background, saying that I'm a founder of Project xCloud, which is kind of rad.
Dude.
Like I think it's kind of a cool little thing that they did. A nice little touch for like early adopters.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and xCloud's pretty cool. I was playing Batman on my phone the other day. Arkham, one of the Arkham games.
Shitty.
No, it was
Sounds
awesome.
like a good one.
It was awesome. I mean,
Sounds like a great one.
I don't know if that game's good, but it was cool that I was playing it, and I played it for about 10 minutes, and what I played was fun.
I don't know if it was good.
I haven't played all the way through the game. I played like 10 minutes.
Usually you can tell if a game is good when you play it.
Well, it started out good, so
okay. Well, then
it's kind of started out. I probably know which one it is.
I don't remember which one. Arkham something.
Was there a fight right off the bat? Crocodile? Croc?
It starts out you're in a diner and like
as a cop,
as a cop,
and everything goes great. That's Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight.
Arkham
okay,
City. I didn't like that one. I didn't play very much.
Fair enough. What I played of it was cool. Sorry,
Arkham City was good. Oh, I kind of predicted the beginning, but like
honestly, I think
the beginning was pretty predictable.
I didn't not shoot anybody actually, because like
I didn't shoot anyone either. I was like shooting into I shot into the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Wait, what? Did I play this one with you, Colin? Arkham?
No, this is a newer one.
We played the first one though together, right?
Like Arkham.
I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, the first two are great. I didn't like the other ones very much.
Okay.
Yeah, Arkham.
Doesn't matter. I played it on my phone, guys, with an Xbox controller. It was cool.
That's pretty cool.
I liked it, and it ran really well. It ran really well.
That's cool. Yeah, it's not. It means it's just your computer running it. You know.
Yeah.
With fiber internet, like.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Yeah. I'm excited. Honestly, I cannot wait. Here's the future for me. If you take my phone anywhere, plug it into an HDMI, get a little like keyboard and mouse, have my computer in front of me instantly. You know.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's what I want, and like still can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course you can't do that, but yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
50. Continuing in the news, Xbox Game Pass announces a merger with EA Play. That means all of EA Play's games will be on Game Pass. So like the Origin launcher, if you have the EA, subscription service, all of those games are getting added to Game Pass. So now you don't have to have that subscription. You only have to have Game Pass. You get everything that's on Game Pass, which is like a buttfuck ton of games. And then as well as everything that EA has to offer, which is the value of that is pretty big.
That's cool.
And then the final bit of news we have, Ubisoft Forward. To me, it was actually a surprise. Like I didn't think it was going to be a very good live stream. They did their live stream this week.
What they announced? Rayman.
They had some good games. No Rayman, but they have a remake
of Rayman
of Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
Damn it! Sands of Time.
Sands of Time.
You got me back. You got me
pulled
back.
you right back in.
You got me back.
Which is
it almost lost me. That was the first one.
I'm excited about that. And then they also showed what used to be Gods and Monsters, and now it's called Immortals Phoenix Rising, which looks like basically a better Breath of the Wild based in Greek mythology.
One, right?
Yeah, it's like Greek mythology, Breath of the Wild.
We'll
it honestly looks pretty good. It looks better.
We'll see.
It genuinely looks better.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. Zelda though, is Zelda in it?
No, Zelda's not in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Neither is Link.
There we go. Now we're good.
You do have a female protagonist, and
that's always fun.
She looks cool. Got a bunch of like cool Greek mythology stuff. You get like the wings and all that. Whatever.
That's
it looks rad. So yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
Anyway, that pretty much rounds it out for the week, guys. Do you
got
have
all the words out?
Any closing thoughts this week?
Thanks for stopping in. We're gonna play some games. Me and Colin are probably gonna get into some co-op this week, and whoever gets the game first, you should watch. Me probably 3D All Stars on Friday. Me first.
Who gets the game first?
Yeah, I'm not gonna stream on Friday, so yeah, you'll be watching him first. I might
as
play
soon as I get it.
So I've started doing a Samurai Saturdays, so I probably won't even stream it on Saturday.
I'm really excited to dig into 64.
I see. So those games, I don't know if I'm even going to necessarily play those on stream. I think those are ones that I'm going to just sit and enjoy myself,
And that's
at least the first playthrough, because like that's one thing that I've been enjoying lately is playing games off stream.
Yeah, same.
Which like
Paper Mario was so good off stream. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like sometimes
Yeah.
like when you're streaming a game, especially if it's a game you haven't played in a while or if it's a brand new game, you don't really like I don't feel like I necessarily get the full experience when I'm playing it on stream because
Yeah.
I'm like either rushing through the
Yeah.
game or I'm paying a lot of attention to chat and I miss things or this and this.
That's true.
So like, it's nice to if it's a game that you really want to absorb to
That's
play that
true.
off stream at least once before
For me,
streaming
the
it.
only reason I wanted these is because it is a game I played like 100 times.
Yeah.
So it's not like anything new, I don't think, but I can still like
Sure.
point out the nuances to the stream.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look at this new thing they did.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
really-
think you should stream it. I'm not
I
gonna
think
stream it.
I think it's a good idea
Yeah.
for me to stream.
Yeah.
So you're making me, as you said that though, you're making me want to do like Sunshine off stream kind of, because that is a game like when I was a kid, I would just love the world in that game. So you said that's the one you hadn't played, right?
I've played a little bit of it, and I've seen the whole game. My brother played the shit out of it,
You watched
but
me
it's
play
not
it.
one that I played a lot of.
It's honestly like the world is, in my opinion, it has the best hub world and best like not lore.
It had the best
necessarily, but,
water
like,
in any video game for
it
like 10
really
years.
has like the best water still. Like, and if you
No,
don't
not
think
still. I think
No,
I think
you're
water
right.
now is caught up. But
If you don't think about new water, and you still look
have
at
you
this
ever
game,
seen the
like, so
water
it's
in what's that fucking pirate game?
That's it for us,
Sea
folks.
of
Thanks
Thieves.
for hopping.
Yeah, we're gonna shut up now.
Jesus
Anyway,
Christ.
Yeah,
water
yeah.
is cool.
Water's cool. All right. Thanks
Water is
everyone for
power.
joining.
Thank
Our
you.
socials are in the are in the chat right now, as well as
Social security number.
the Discord link. If you haven't joined the Discord, you can join us there and engage
Discord.
in conversation there. I'm Paul. You're on my Twitch channel if you're watching us live. If not, it's Ryugami-san right there below me. There.
There it is.
And you can find me on Twitter at Ryugami-sama. I try to stream Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I haven't been much lately, but I'm going to get back into that. And then I stream Saturdays, Samurai Games, and we do the podcast on Sundays. Josh, where can we find you?
You can find me at Lord Yeshua on Twitch and Lord Yeshua TTV on every other of my socials, like Instagram and all the other stuff, which honestly, kind of taking a chill time right now. Definitely going to be doing the podcast, though, obviously every Sunday with these guys. And then, I don't know, maybe we should all just start gaming more together. Maybe it's easier to get to do it like that because honestly, I have kind of, like Paul's saying, really been into playing games solo. And so just like kind of feels good again. Like it makes gaming what it was meant to be. So a lot of streaming co-op is more fun for me. So hopefully we'll be getting these guys to play some co-op. I know me and Colin have a lot of mods that we're dying to sink our teeth into. And Paul
Colin and I are going to do
set.
Conker's Bedford Day.
What the fuck? All right, we're done. Are you serious? You're doing the co-op mod of Conker? What the fuck, bro? How am I not invited?
You're invited.
All right. Anyway, you can find me here in shame. I'm invited. That's amazing.
Twitch.tv/4Gs and 4Gs Gaming on Twitter.
All right. Everyone have an awesome night. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. Good night.